let us all do we can to build a better future. So with that being said, let's get started with our first segment. And I want to introduce it real quick. So I have a problem with tone policing. I have a problem with people who say...
Hey, Kit, lower your tone.
Yeah, and see, that's a problem right there. Because, again, as we enter 2021, nothing has really fundamentally changed. Haha, no pun intended. But, look, force of vote has gotten people to talk about why we need to have Medicare for all. And it just shouldn't be just smaller channels leading the way. It should be larger platforms too, larger organizations too. I mean, this is what we've heard from the early 2000s going into then the 2010s. And now as we enter 2021, I'm noticing a tone is changing. I'm noticing that people who were normally leading the charge are now saying, wait, hold your powder. No need to charge, no need to yell, start being respectful. But when people are dying, when people are suffering, when people have ridiculous medical bills, or, when hospitals or insurance companies still send letters in the mails, especially when your relative have died, saying, hey, we need money, you owe us money, the dead can't pay bills, there's obviously something fundamentally wrong with our healthcare system. So I'm still on board with welcoming those who are challenging force the vote or trying to be critical of it. But it's not about one person. It's not about one person's ego or pride. It's not about getting clicks or views. This is about trying to build a better future. And yesterday, the two hosts of the Young Turks went after Jimmy Dore. FaZe, can we pull up the first tweet? Not the video, but let's pull it up with Cenk first trying to tone police. Let's zoom in on there. You might have to read it. I apologize, FaZe, for putting you on.
That's pretty. That should be good.
Okay, hold on. Actually, I could see it. Okay. And hashtag force the vote turns on itself. It was inevitable. There's someone in this town hall who needs serious psychological counseling. Can you tell who? These folks are mostly well-intentioned. They have a fine strategy that is slightly mistimed, but the circular firing squad is nuts. What are you talking about, Cenk? Here, let's actually scroll down further. I want that tweet to be highlighted. Can we view on that tweet? All right. So obviously this person, Carcass Lobbyist, whatever their name is. Let's scroll down to the video. It's Katie Halper's live stream that she did after the Force the Vote town hall. This segment, we're not going to play the video, but this segment here was not during the town hall. This was an after live stream.
Like an after party.
Yeah. So in other words, it had nothing to relate to the town hall. Now, yes, were there speakers of the town hall there? Absolutely. But why are you saying someone needs mental counseling, mental health counseling, when Cenk, you have yelled and ranted on your show and somebody, I don't know.
You built a brand on it.
Yeah. And the thing is, Cenk, somebody who, if they never knew you, would probably say, well, this Cenk Uygur needs some mental counseling because you have yelled and ranted and screamed on your network. Remember when you yelled about that article from the USA Today, how Bush says, or, Bush made America safer. Remember that infamous, video? Somebody would say, well, this guy needs mental health. But hey, be careful with your words, because obviously you didn't pay attention to that town hall because there were other stories besides Jimmy Dore, Cenk. There were other stories of people suffering. So the thing is, when is the right time? I really want to know. When is going to be the right time to talk about this? When can we start yelling? When are we allowed to do this? What's the perfect time? And with the healthcare in this country and how messed up it is, and I'm sorry if I'm raising my voice, but, why aren't we all yelling? We have viewers in Canada and Great Britain who have commented in some of our live streams and as well as some of our videos saying, I'm so glad I'm not there in America. I'm so glad. I'm sorry that you guys have to deal with this. I'm so sorry you guys have to deal with this. That's what I'm hearing a lot from our international audience. We don't have a large group, but the people who do tune in, you know what they say? Well, I'm sorry you have to deal with that. This is terrible. Why aren't more of you screaming? Why aren't you screaming even more, Cenk? On a recent video, I checked out on the Young Turks. They met their goal, their fundraising goal.
Right, they hit 2 million.
Congratulations, Cenk. Congratulations on that goal. So when's the next day or next month you're going to start asking for more money? Don't like how I'm talking to you? Here, let's pull up a video of Anna. Let's pull up the next tweet of Anna Kasparian going after Force the Vote and Jimmy Dore. Fantastic. Can you tell me what happens after the vote on Medicare for All fails, and if there's some incredible plan in place that doesn't require an organized left, let's implement that strategy right now, since 2,000 checks didn't pass in the Senate. Perfect opportunity to show us. Okay, again, we're relying on the Democrats to do the deed.
Yeah, but by the way, it's like if they have done any amount of research on this at all, if they did any journalism on this at all, Jimmy's made it very clear you don't have to win the Medicare for All vote. The point is, in the worst case scenario, which is still a great scenario, all the Democrats that are going to refuse to vote for this bill are going to be made public, and then people can run against them. That's it. You don't have to win. It's not like anyone's saying, okay, we're gonna force the vote on Medicare for All right now, and then it's just gonna happen, just gonna win. That's the plan. That's not what anyone's saying. The only people that are saying that are people that are arguing against it, and the only way to argue against it is to have a straw man.
Mm-hmm. And I have, again, Cenk, Anna, you have been yelling on your show, talking about this on your show, about why we need to have Medicare for All. You know, Ron Placone and Graham Elwood said it's a damn shame you guys aren't leading this way. But I guess maybe because, you become a larger network.
And of course,
more connections.
We were talking about this before. Cenk doesn't own or manage the Young Turks anymore.
Yeah.
He's an anchor. He's no different from Rachel Maddow on, MSNBC. Paid a lot. Talks, but not really in charge. So, I mean, maybe it is really sad. Maybe this is just his actual bosses telling him to pump the brakes and follow the line. Who knows?
And to be very clear, I want TYT to join in on this fight, but sadly, I guess what is it? Ego, pride, anger that Jimmy Dore managed to come up with a clever hashtag. I mean, but it's not about Jimmy. It never was about Jimmy. It's not about clicks or likes anymore, because if things continue on how they are, we're going to be entering into a very severe economic depression where independent media is going to definitely struggle, because a lot of our supporters, everyone's going to be hurting financially, every single person. Not to mention with the various strains of this COVID-19 virus that are now coming out, I do hope that the vaccination is capable of taking on those new variations of this virus. I do hope that people are not evicted at the end of January 31st. We are entering into a perfect storm where eventually, everyone's going to have to start screaming at Congress that has a 13% job approval rating. The whole idea of force to vote is to shine a light on how corrupt, inept, and heartless our politicians are. They are public servants, and they're supposed to work for us. Now, that video clip, in which right now is being shared by the detractors of Force the Vote, again, that is of Katie Halpert's live stream show. Here, let's play a video of what happened during that town hall. And tell me again if this is about Jimmy Dore. And tell me again why we shouldn't yell. And tell me again why we should be polite to these politicians that are choosing not to fight for us. FaZe, can we play that video? This was done by Matt Orfala.
I actually died when I was younger. As she was about to leave her kids and her husband, my mom was worried about having to get treatment because it would have bankrupted our family.
Our insurance company refused my claims.
They'll gladly let a vulnerable boy and his family suffer.
I actually used to be a fiscal conservative, diehard Republican, and I lost everything.
This is my sister Diana, and the medications for her autism are more than $2,000 a month. The same medication in another country is $14.
Force a vote for Medicare for all.
We are the only developed nation on Earth that does not have some form of universal health care.
I went to the emergency room. They said that I needed to follow up with my doctor, and I can't go see a doctor. I don't have health insurance. I can't pay this bill.
I've been working in a nursing home about 5-6 years now, and they're telling me I don't deserve health care. I'm going tomorrow to a nursing home with active COVID patients.
Force the vote.
Let there be a vote for Medicare for all.
If we had a Medicare for all system, my dad could have just gone to the actual doctor and they would have caught the cancer earlier.
Force the vote now.
#force the vote.
People don't go to the hospital because they don't have
health insurance.
Force the vote.
We need Medicare for all.
By the time I had some idea of what to do to treat my illness, I could no longer afford to treat my illness.
Force the vote now.
I am one of the many millions of Americans who have lost their health care.
If you actually care about defending the human rights of Americans,
force the vote.
I got stabbed in the chest, and their answer for me getting attacked was to charge me $270,000.
Force the vote.
I had a bone disease, and my doctor goes, "You're not making bone properly." And I was like, "Well, should I take a Viagra?" He's like, "No, it's not."
One day I stepped off a step the wrong way, and my spine collapsed. The insurance company wouldn't pay.
Force the vote.
My father had health insurance, and we had to fight the health insurance company to try to get to pay for his life-saving medication. And I was sitting in a hearing where one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield representatives was sitting in front of me laughing. And I leaned forward and reminded him that the dying man that you're laughing about is my father.
That's not right.
Force the vote.
So I just want to say I'm going to channel Cenk right now after watching that. That Jimmy Dore guy was an asshole and the sole focus of that video. Clearly and consistently, this entire thing is just about him because I am making it just about him. Now pull back to reality. If you didn't watch that town hall, Jimmy Dore, it's live on his channel. It's about a 2-hour video. It was immensely powerful. We were watching it live after the show.
Yep, I even did a commentary afterward.
Yeah, and it's just so sad that a lot of it's like, and Jimmy talked about these, like, the people that have really good health care, such as Cenk Uygur, such as Anna Kasparian, such as John Adirola, such as Sam Cedar, are the people that are saying, hold the brakes, we don't need this right now, we can wait, strategize, whereas all the people that don't have health care or have suffered the healthcare system, those are the people on the side of it. So I think that if everyone's wondering what's the split, is it Jimmy Dore fans or not? Is it Jimmy or not? No, it's people that have suffered from not having Medicare for all and people that are doing okay. That seems to be the split with at least these larger, higher revenue earning channels that don't seem to have an issue with that, dealing with their own health insurance that they can currently afford.
And again, when we look at TYT as a network, yeah, they've done some interesting work. Yes, they've been calling that we need to have single-payer health care, but their silence and defiance against the hashtag force the vote, being critical of it, well, then what's your alternative, guys? Seriously, what is your other plan? Are you just angry that Jimmy Dore was the messenger, the pothead comedian from Chicago? Are you really that annoyed by what he did? I mean, did that really bother you so much that it's going to ruin everything? Here's what's going to ruin everything. If our politicians, even the ones we respect, progressives that we respect, choose not to fight, well, then damn it, we got to yell at them. Because that's not about Jimmy. I'm glad I don't have a story, a medical story. I'm so glad. Boy, oh boy, am I avoiding a nightmare. But you know what? It's hanging over my head. It's hanging over all of our heads. And you want what's really frightening, Cenk, Anna? Since you're going after hashtag force the vote, there are millions of Americans that are living through this nightmare. Again, in that short video, that one guy got stabbed in the chest, $270,000. There's nobody I know in my inner circle that has that kind of money. Maybe you, Cenk, maybe you might know somebody who has that kind of money. But wouldn't it be a sight if you just, look, before December 7th, you were all on board with it. What happened, Cenk? What happened? Did Cenk, did you get offended by Jimmy yelling at AOC?
Did your boss tell you what to do?
I mean, here's the issue. The politicians are all public servants, and the people demand action. We can't wait anymore. Enough people have died. This isn't about clicks. This isn't about likes. I mean, the economy is going to be falling apart, so pretty much everyone's going to be hurting. And those who don't have health insurance, well, they either got two options: survive and live in pain, or die in the richest country in the world. So we're sorry that you feel like you deserve an apology because, oh, wait, we're yelling at politicians too loud, or people are tone policing. Aren't you tired of seeing people die? Are you tired of seeing people go bankrupt? On the last day of 2020, you decide to tweet out, oh, great, what's the plan when it fails? Now, here's the thing. if the politicians vote no for Medicare for all at the height of a pandemic, then damn it, we primary them all. And if AOC and the other 14 members who are part of that, who are on that list for forcetovote.org petition, if they don't go on board with it, well, then we got to vote them out too. And if that offends people because, oh, wait, these are good politicians, they got to fight. We as citizens have to fight. When the people lead, that's when the leaders follow. When the people lead, that's when things change. Enough is enough. You had even, look, there are conservatives and Republicans that are on board for Medicare for all. Okay, and if they agree with it, those voters agree with it. If they're on board, well, then let's go. Let's go. Let's get everyone. Let's get everyone on board with it. What's wrong? Is it the messenger? Because it doesn't seem like Jimmy Dore is just saying, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Because sooner or later, we're going to find out what happens when the Democrats choose their next Speaker of the House. We're going to find out who's really going to follow through. But enough. And enough being polite. Enough asking. Let's play.
Really quickly, I just wanted to add on that TYT may have a point. I mean, Cenk Uygur has never built an entire brand about yelling at people, yelling over people. And on top of it, I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of what TYT is about based on their own performance. And I actually noticed that what used to be their most viewed video, they've deleted, which was a story they did, a really hard-hitting journalistic story about a guy with a large penis getting frisked at an airport, which was their largest video, I guess, until they've deleted it. The second, now current largest video on TYT is about a woman that got attacked by a chimpanzee. Should have been on Joe Rogan, I suppose. And then what chicken nuggets are made of. It comes in two. And then what a real-life anime girl. So these are the hard hitters that are saying that there's an issue with professionalism with Jimmy Dore talking about these issues at a volume that is, I would say, similar to early TYT, except that Jimmy is really upset because, him and his wife went bankrupt.
Nearly lost everything.
And nearly lost everything. But why would they possibly be upset? I don't understand it. What reason do they have? They're just grifting.
Right. So, folks, one more time. FaZe, can you play that video? And again, type in the comment section below and ask me, do you really think this is about Jimmy Dore? And how can you remain heartless? Let's play that video one more time. This is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than Hardlens Media. It's bigger than TYT. It's bigger than Jimmy Dore. This is about fighting for a better future so the next generation doesn't have to see their loved ones die. AOC, you have the chance to do the right thing. Please do it. Play that video.
About is my father.
That's not right.
Force the vote.
Again, hashtag force to vote.
Well, it looks like we actually have the Jimmy Dore show joining us in the chat. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Jimmy Dore. Thank you for speaking out. We all must work together on this. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. Force to vote, force to vote. Together we can fight for a better future. Let's make it happen.
And I think the other thing we've learned is if you have a good idea, don't be too passionate because other people that are previously passionate might have an issue with it.
Let me give a twisty twist on that one.
Yeah.
If you got a damn good idea, you charge out there.
That might be better. Yeah, that might be better.
There you go. If you got a good idea, you fight, and you don't stop fighting. Hashtag force the vote.